Okay, let's get started. This is a small group, I like to make this as interactive as possible. And because we're so small, feel free to ask questions. You can use the chat to network with each other and put in your LinkedIn, however you like. We were planning on spending the next 60 minutes together, and I have a lot of information to cover. However, I do want to make sure that you walk away with the information that you need. We are recording this. We record all of our member orientations and we put them up on our YouTube channel. You will also receive these slides later this afternoon. So any of the information on the slides you will receive. We also send a pretty comprehensive email with other links, depending on the questions that you ask and the information that you need to move forward. Let's see, I do have a little bit of a cough, so I may be stopping from time to time to cough. So I apologize for that. We've had some sick kids and things like that, but I feel good. Um, let's move forward and let's see what we're covering today. I'm in the welcome and general update section. We usually do a poll, but there's only two of you. So maybe what we'll do is instead of running the more formal poll, we'll just ask you to unmute and let me know, what do you want to walk away from today? And I'm going to jot some notes and just really focus on that. That'll be very interesting and I think beneficial as a recording when we do post it. Um, then I'm going to introduce myself a little bit more. You could see my name is Liliana Arguello. Everyone calls me Lily. And we have a guest speaker and my right hand on the membership team. And we'll introduce ourselves a little bit more. We'll go through a PIHRA overview, talk about some of the key member benefits that you should know about, and then talk about the professional development and networking opportunities that PIHRA offers here in Southern California. Then we'll just wrap up and answer any questions. We may or may not use all the 60 minutes today. But let's see where we go. Thank you again for joining. So just as a general update, um, we're excited that, because of the pandemic, we went virtual. Our conferences had gone virtual, and now we're kind of going back to a more pre-pandemic phase. But what happened was that we are now offering more webinars. And they're free for members. So you can anticipate up to 3 webinars per month, and most of them are approved for recertification credit. We are also doing more kind of interactive conversations, which may or may not have recertification credit tied to it. Most of our chapters are having in-person chapter meetings, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about that. And so I'm really excited about that because it took a little bit. Even last year, our volunteer leaders were regrouping and trying to find venues, etc. So I'm really happy to say that a large amount of our 17 chapters and 3 communities are meeting again and planning to meet more often in 2024. Keep visiting the PIHRA calendar. We're always adding events, both virtual and in person, and we'll get into the details of that. I really think that PIHRA differentiates itself by providing affordable, accessible, and actionable professional development, including webinars. I really think that we are the low-cost leader with respect to professional development, and I hope that you take advantage of some of what we have to offer. Other than that, I'm going to keep going. So this is the part of the orientation where I ask, uh, what information are you seeking today? And maybe we could put up the poll, Elisette, and just so you could see the different options to give you some ideas of what we offer. But you may already know, this is what I want to walk away from. So does anyone want to unmute, or you could feel free to use the poll?
I'm happy to say hi. I'm Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. I'm just learning. I'm working on learning a lot more. I'm an HR consultant, and starting next year, I'm holding monthly HR training classes through my local Chamber of Commerce. And so I just want to make sure that I stay up to date with what's new, that the information I'm providing is accurate, and also networking more with other people in the.
Got it. I think I heard you. You're a consultant. You're going to do your own HR training. You just want to keep on top of the HR trends, employment laws, making sure that whatever you're presenting is accurate. And you also want to get out there networking. I think this is a perfect place for that. Anyone else want to unmute? I see HR certification. That's great. We could talk about that.
Hi, it's Catherine. Like Amy. Hi, Amy. I just pivoted my consulting business from a general category of retail operations to specifically human resource consultancy for small businesses. So I'm really targeting businesses with 20 or less employees in the state of California. So my question is, and my priorities would be to tap into colleagues such as myself that are specifically focused on small business and helping business owners. So if there's a group around that, I'd like to connect because it's a little bit different, especially when they're founder owners. And so
Okay.
that's one. The second thing is, I think as a consultant, I bet Amy has the same concern. I really want to understand data, privacy, and the platforms around making sure the information that I'm getting from employees and employers is secure and it is following whatever federal, state, local privacy regulation we have in place, and then also tools to keep the data private, because you
Got
might
it.
have 20 clients, but how do I ensure that even my vendors are complying? So that would be it for me.
Got it. That's pretty specific. I'll get to that. I don't know if I'll have recommendations or but let's keep going. And this is really good information for me. I want to let you know, Amy and Alyssa, hopefully you responded too. And Natalie, hi, I'm glad you're here. Um, we may need to have a separate conversation, Amy and Catherine, or specifically Catherine, because your requests were pretty specific, and I would probably need to do some more research, but I think I'll have some recommendations, and I'm really glad you're here. So let's keep going. I promised you I'd introduce myself a little bit more. I'm here in the middle. I have an MBA and a SHRM SCP. I'm the director of membership. I've been with PIHRA, gosh, since 2014, and I really love working with PIHRA. I've started my career in organizational development consulting and then kind of switched gears because I wanted to go internal. I ended up in the nonprofit area, and my CEO, my direct supervisor, Rafael Rivera here at PIHRA, he found me on LinkedIn through some volunteer work that I was doing. And at the time, I was working for the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles, uh, uh, building partnerships and expanding their leadership model throughout the inner city of LA. And again, I love my team. I love working with PIHRA. I am passionate about helping people thrive in their career. And I have gotten to know a lot of HR consultants within the PIHRA atmosphere, stratosphere. I'm really glad to meet you all. I'm going to mute so that at least Set, my right hand, can introduce herself.
Thanks, Lily. Hi, everyone. My name is Elisette Sapien. I'm on the right on the screen. And I am the membership coordinator here at PIHRA. Like Lily mentioned, we we are a small team, and so Lily and I represent the membership team along with Matt, who Lily is going to introduce after. And we are volunteer led. So yeah, we are a great team. We are very accessible. So if you ever need or have any questions, feel free to contact us. I'm usually the first person you speak to if you dial the main number. But we strive to help and make sure that we give you the best experience and make sure that you get the best out of your membership. So during the webinar today, I know we're a small group. Feel free to interact with us via the chat box. I'm going to be checking that, or raise your hand and we can unmute and ask your questions or comments. So I'll hand it back to Lily.
Thank you, Elisette. So Elisette's usually the first person you're going to talk to, excuse me, when you call our number. So here's, we are very accessible. It's my expectation that me and my team get back to you with a response within 24 hours of a working week. So I'm pretty responsive. I'm great. We are great with emails. But yeah, Elisette knows everything that I do, and we are a great team and want to make sure that you get kind of a concierge level type of experience as a member. And so please feel free if there's any questions, or you can't access something, or you can't get into your membership profile, feel free to contact us via email or phone, and we should be able to get back to you pretty quickly. If we're in meetings, it may take up to 24 hours. So thank you, Elisette, for being here. I want to introduce Matthew Pallett. So Elisette alluded to this. We are primarily volunteer-led. We do have a staff of 8 full-time people and 1 contractor, but we run we have 18 communities, 3 special interest groups. That is all run by volunteer leaders. So some of you talked about wanting to network. I think that volunteering for our organizations is networking on steroids, because people get to know you. They get to know your work ethic, they get to know the quality of your work. And so when someone needs a consultant, or someone needs an investigator, or someone needs an insurance broker or something like that, they're going to contact you and let you know about the opportunity. Matt is a volunteer leader. He's actually an insurance broker. He's great to work with, and he represents membership at the board level. So we have, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in a moment, but we have the PIHRA Association board, and we also have boards at the chapter level. All right. So let me now introduce our special guest, Carla. I'm so glad you're here. You want to unmute and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Carla Reyes, and I'm happy that you're here to learn about the PIHRA membership and community. I started with PIHRA, I want to say in 2014, 2015. And I started with North Orange County. And I think you might have seen my post about PIHRA. I definitely know that the community has been there for me. And I actually found my current role through networking opportunity when I wasn't looking for it. So the thing with PIHRA is, like I said, I started with North Orange County, then I moved over to Pasadena, and I'm actually based in Orange County. So I've met so many great people and different resources where I know who to contact if I have a particular question, and which, because everyone's so welcoming with PIHRA, I was able to volunteer. And so I volunteered in multiple capacities. I've been to the CLAR events, the California HR Conference events, multiple years, to the labor law updates. And, it really is, you can go to any chapter. Everyone's very welcoming. There's so many resources available to you. I will be honest, I don't use all of the resources, and I know that there's so many. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, I guess we can go from there.
Carla, thank you so much. Carla is a favorite with the staff as well. We've even had her do some social media for us in the past. And how you started at North OC and ended up at Pasadena, I think that is a story for dinner or for lunch or something, because I am curious. So if you have any questions about PIHRA Pasadena or PIHRA North OC or things of that sort, Carla, I think you put your LinkedIn in the chat. So please connect with her. This is a warm community, and we work really closely with our volunteers. So thank you, Carla, for being here. So what's next? Let's talk a little bit about PIHRA. This is our mission. I'm not going to read it for you, but we exist to help and engage the human resource professional in providing innovative programming, networking with the largest local HR community in the United States. And we do a lot of different things, and I'm going to go through some of the things that we have coming up, which I know one of you wanted to know more about the seminars and conferences. We have several coming up that I think will help. Amy, for example, and Catherine, going to these events, we usually have exhibitors and they are always willing to speak to you about their platforms, what makes sense, how they're in compliance or not. And I think on the legal update, that is really important to make sure that whatever information you're sharing is accurate. As you know, in California, things change pretty quickly with respect to employment law. So it is something that you need to stay on top of. But I think that as HR practitioners, when you are known to master HR law in California, you are just so much more marketable and are sought after. So those are the sorts of things that we offer. We are the largest SHRM affiliate in the nation. I know that because I received the reports. We are likely also the largest SHRM affiliate in the world. They do have affiliates in China and India, but I just don't know their size yet. So we were established in 1944. So gosh, how old are we now? Like 79. I think next year's our big 80th anniversary. So we're we were established a couple years before SHRM, but SHRM, as you know, they grew and grew and grew. They have over 500 affiliates throughout the world, and I believe it's close to 250,000 members in the United States alone. So, but we are an affiliate in good standing, and we're proud of that. I did mention we are volunteer led, and I'm going to go through this quickly because no one asked about our structure, but I do want you to know about our team. So Tara Fournier is a SPHR SHRM SCP. She's the president of the PIHRA board, and she's currently the chief people officer for Enthusiast Gaming. She actually worked for SHRM in the past and is an expert within the HR field here in Southern California, very accessible. You may see her you probably will see her at our legal updates and at the California HR conference, and I'll have more information about that coming up. By the way, if you have any questions, just raise your hand and stop me because I'm going to speed through this as much as possible because most of you had questions about professional development. So I talked a little bit about Rafael Rivera earlier. He's our CEO. He recruited me. I really credit him for taking PIHRA to the next level. He rebranded our conferences. Before, for example, we had the PIHRA annual conference, and in 2015, I believe, we rebranded to the California HR conference. He's a great leader, and got us through the pandemic. And even though we had some staff turnover, which I think a lot of people experienced in the pandemic, he's kept us going, and I really credit him for building this fantastic team that we have and a great team of volunteers. So just to give you a sense of our members, and Catherine, Amy, this might help you kind of see, where you guys fit in. But first thing I want to let you know is right around 43% of our members are at the HR manager, HR business partner level. 28% are at the HR directors and above level. 40%, oh, by the way, the other thing that I want to, and this is, I'm reading from the upper left of the slide, right around 9% of our members right now are what we call service providers. So those are those natural partners to HR adjacent folks. So the benefit brokers, um, staffing agents, wellness folks, 401k firms. So these people, I work with them well. Most of them are, some are in volunteer leadership roles, and those who have worked with us for a long time know that it's about relationship building. So and they're great connectors. I know, for example, there was a broker from one of our partners is Bolton. I was at a PIHRA Long Beach event, and he knew about 2 HR director jobs in the downtown area, and he's willing to connect people with those sorts of positions. So they're great connectors. And Carla's shaking her head like, yeah. 40% of our members are HR certified, and we'll talk a little bit more about that because I think someone had some questions about that. Now, this is what I thought would be interesting to Amy and Catherine. Our the top 4 industries represented by our members are manufacturing, consulting comes in second. So I think a large portion of our members are HR consultants or work for a firm. I do want to say we don't right now have a specific group for HR consultants, but that is something that I want to think about a little bit more. Before the end, I want to introduce you to an online platform. Don't know how much longer we'll have, but I am open to starting a group for just HR consultants to see if that is a place that will help you network with that group. However, if you're going to find HR consultants at all the chapter meetings. I mean, there's going to bound to be one of them either on the board or attending the meetings. In addition, I am working with my team this year for the California HR Conference to see if we have industry specific or topic specific networking venues. So those are a couple of things that I've got in mind, but today I don't have anything specific for HR consultants. So thank you so much for bringing that up. So this is important. Sorry, I went beyond. This is a map of our chapters. So first thing I want to tell you is when you become a member, and please raise your hand if you're a member. I know, Natalie, you just became a member, and I'm not recognizing some of the other names. So if you are a member, let me know. But members can attend any PIHRA chapter meeting at the member rate. So the only thing I encourage you to do is to register online in advance. When you become a member, you will select a preferred chapter. So that is usually a chapter that is close by your residence or close by your office. However, if they all have different meetings, most of them meet monthly. All of them met monthly before the pandemic, but some, like I said, and if anyone has questions about any chapter specifically, we could talk about them. But they all have different topics that they present each month. They all have their own little culture and their own board. So this is a great place to get started if you want to take on a volunteer role, even if it's on a committee or a more formal role. So before I continue, any questions about any of these chapters? Carla, do you want to unmute and talk about what a typical chapter meeting looks like?
Sure. So there's breakfast, lunch, or like a social event, but for Pasadena, we have breakfast meetings. And it will have a certain time designated for like breakfast and networking. And then we go into the educational part of the meeting. And there's time after, where you network and things like that. But every meeting will have like an educational topic and it comes with the recertification credits as well. And there's some kind of component of food. So it's either breakfast or lunch. And there's different varieties. So for example, I'm with PIHRA Pasadena, and we get together to plan out the year, in like the winter time. We plan out the following year, and we pick a variety of topics so that, you're able to get different information throughout the year. So the chapters are going to have different information. Different chapters are going to have different times. So, and you'll be able to see when you go to the PIHRA calendar, you can go to one meeting in the morning, you can go one meeting for lunch, and you can go to the social event in the same week, even the same day. So that's what's really great about the membership, that you can go to any meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carla. And one of the things that's coming out of PIHRA Pasadena is they want to do a virtual HR peer-to-peer meeting once a month, and just to talk about different topics. So that's going to be another channel for you to connect with all types of different HR practitioners. Most of our, and this wasn't on the slide before, but most of our members belong with organizations with 100 employees or more. But there are some of our members that work for smaller nonprofits, and they're a HR department of one. But I can get, if you want that data, just connect with me. Elisa, can you put the membership email down there, and you'll get it when you receive these slides. If you want to get more specific information about the size of companies that our members belong or work with, let me know, and I could send that information. Alyssa, so I did get your note. You're in Fountain Valley. That's near Huntington Beach. You have a couple choices. I think that the North OC group meets out of Anaheim. That's something that a group that you might be interested in. And there's also there's Long Beach, and there's South Orange County. So let's see if I can, and maybe Carla, correct me if I'm wrong. PIHRA North OC, they're going through a leadership transition this year. They have a new chair and vice chair. Last year, they were doing a more traditional meeting one month, and then a lunch workshop the next month, and then they're doing a social. So they started rotating the types of meeting they had. And I got to tell you, the new vice chair is a member of the foundation room, and they just had a really great social for the holidays at the foundation room at the House of Blues in Anaheim. So if you like that sort of thing, they're a great group to hang out with. PIHRA South OC meets also is doing something similar. So they'll have a breakfast meeting, then a social in the evening with a workshop. I don't know if they're doing lunch. I forgot. They're either doing. Do you know, Carla?
They were doing breakfast for a while, but I think that they're going to also do alternating. And I believe that Pasadena, we're going to try to do something similar as well, because we're trying to capture everyone's different. Everyone's on a different schedule. Everyone has different availability. But yeah, so North Orange County has really great events, and I mean, everyone has great events, but I recently went to one of their events at the foundation room as well. And I believe someone had a question about if you're able to go to different, yes, you can, as a PIHRA member, you can attend any chapter, even though you designated your home chapter to be, for example, for me, Pasadena, but I can go to any of the chapter meetings, Riverside, North OC, anywhere really.
Absolutely. And you're going to find your tribe. So Catherine, the West LA group is great. I'm actually going to, I grew up in West LA, so I really kind of head toward them. I feel connected with West LA, also with downtown LA. I mean, I connect with everybody, but you're going to find your tribe. And so you could attend any meeting. I would just suggest to register in advance online so you get the member rate. If you're a non-member, no worries. But also just check the calendar because sometimes these events sell out because of the venue size. So just make sure you go to PIHRA.org/calendar, and I'll share that with you as well. Natalie, yes, there is a separate cost to attend the meetings. And the reason is that there's a venue cost, which has increased, which is horrible, and food costs have increased. So but I think our chapters have done a great job at keeping the meeting pricing right similar to what it was pre-pandemic. So I think on average, most meetings cost $35 to attend if you are a member. If you're a non-member, it's $50. So yes, please register in advance. Let's see. What are online options for attending meetings? The closest chapter to me is, oh, Amy, where are you? Yeah, it sounds like you have a long drive. I would suggest that, you know, and feel free to unmute. We do have the webinars we call someone like you that's outside of our footprint an at-large member. So I see you unmuted.
Yeah. So I'm in Kern County, but on the other side from where most people are. So I'm in the Ridgecrest Indian Kern area, right next to China Lake Naval Base, which is the whole reason Ridgecrest exists, is to support that Navy base.
Is
But we're
that
very
up
isolated.
north, like
Yeah.
beyond like Antelope Valley near
Yep.
Bakersfield?
So we are in the same county as Bakersfield, but we're on the other side of the mountain.
Okay.
So if you go through the Sierras, like you're headed to Death Valley, and you get to the Mojave, that's us.
Okay. Like I said, we have the virtual meetings and webinars. After the webinar, I'm going to I'm going to do some research for you to see if there's some local. It sounds like you're kind of in a place where it's far
Yeah.
from a lot of different things.
I
But
did join this one, and I marked Antelope Valley as the closest because it is. But even with that, it's an hour and a half drive, which
yeah.
is fine because these events are definitely productive and worth going to. But it limits the amount that I would be able to participate.
Right, right. So like I said, I think there's and I think I'm having trouble hearing you, so I apologize. But there are some SHRM affiliates in that area. Like I think there's a Kern County SHRM affiliate. So I don't know if you already connected.
They're over in Bakersfield. That's that's an hour and a half. That's why
Okay.
that's okay. I'm used to traveling due to where I'm located. I just want to be able to participate more. So
Yeah, okay, great. Well, yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you have any more questions in that area. We have a couple specialty groups. One is the PIHRA Foundation, the other is PIHRA Emerging Leaders and College Relations. And we also have a small community in North County, San Diego. And we have one more. I'm sorry, it's not on here. It's the Government Advocacy Team. So I apologize. I should have that logo here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a couple of these specialty groups. One, whoever was interested in HR certification, our PIHRA Foundation, which is a separate 501c, they exist to engage folks who are interested in HR as a career. They work out in the community, and they also raise funds for these scholarships. So they have a HR degree scholarship. The deadline for that scholarship has passed. It's in November, but they have an HR certification scholarship. And I think you have a couple of days if you're interested. There are some guidelines and criteria around that. So one of them, for example, is you don't receive the award until after you've passed the certification. Carla, did you do the scholarship?
I want to say that I think I wasn't. I believe that I can't recall if I did.
Okay.
I know that I applied, but it's definitely there, and I've taken the HR certification through PIHRA.
Oh, the prep course?
The prep course, yeah. So I can talk a little bit about that. But
Okay. Well, this is specifically for the scholarship. There's 2 scholarship windows each year. There's a spring window and a fall window or winter window. So if you know anybody who is thinking about their certification or is in the middle of prepping and taking the exam, this is something you could share with them. I want to talk to you about the government advocacy team. This committee's mission is to really advocate for employee legislation in California. They work a lot with Cal SHRM and who is very active. We don't lobby in Sacramento, but Cal SHRM lobbies. So our group is active and stays abreast of all the upcoming laws. So if you're interested in making sure you're on top of everything that's coming through the California legislator, this is a great group to be a part of. If you want to volunteer your time, they meet, I think, monthly, depending on what's going on, but they have quarterly webinars that are usually free, and they invite a local legislator. It could be an assembly person, a senator, and things of that sort to talk about relevant issues. So this is a great group to be a part of. Again, they have like these quarterly coffee chats, and they usually have an elected involved. Great group to be a part of. So those are the 2 that I wanted to highlight. Now I'm going to breeze through some benefits that will be helpful. And I think Amy and Catherine, some of these may be helpful as well. So these are the top 6 things that I like to highlight and that my members say, this is what I use the most. So the HR education, I'm going to go through some of the opportunities that come up in a couple minutes, but that's number 1. People come to us for that kind of meat and potatoes HR information, what's coming, what are the trends to be looking out for, some of the tracks we cover, and we're really well known for our employment law. We have talent acquisition and talent management. We do a lot around employee engagement. I want to get more involved, but we do have a lot of HR strategy. We hit topics like corporate culture and succession planning and things of that sort. So those are the types of professional development topics that you will see, including a lot like on the engagement side, there's a lot of wellness information, whatever AI, we've been talking about AI and HR and the legal ramifications of AI, and also, some of how HR can start implementing AI in a way that makes sense and that helps them become more efficient and effective. I think that the networking we have our in-person networking and relationship building is fantastic because we have a large community. We have some virtual networking that I've talked about. We have some things coming up like the HR peer-to-peer, which is a virtual exchange once a month is the plan to do that. We also have an online platform right now. It's called PIHRA Connect. It hasn't gotten as popular, but it is still, and I'll give you the resources. But more importantly, and this is for online. So Amy, this would be perfect for you. It's an HR compliance center. So it provides emails to our members about new California law that's coming into effect, when it's coming to effect, what you have to do. There's hundreds of example policies. There's an employee handbook builder in there. There's a salary comparison tool. There's a job description tool. So a lot of great resources on this online. We call it, and I'm going to get a little bit more into it, but we call it PIHRA, the PIHRA Workplace. Also included in that is an HR hotline is what I call it. So if you need a second opinion about something, you just call, or you could ask them a question online and they will respond with, it's staffed by senior certified HR professionals, and they will respond with the information that you've requested, including some documentation around whatever you're requesting. So if it's a policy you need, they will provide a link to the policy. And then I already talked about the free webinars. Um, so this PIHRA Comply, it is through the PIHRA Workplace. I just ask that if you become a member, allow us, 2 to 3 weeks to give you access, because it is through a partner site called Mineral. It was formerly Think HR. Some of you may remember Think HR. But if you need a quick access, just give us a call, and me and Elisette can get you on pretty quickly. It includes the Compliance Center that I just talked about. It includes the PIHRA Live, which is that HR hotline. And it also, starting last year, it includes a learning management system with some over 200 core courses that you can administer to your employees. So those courses include some real standard modules. So anti-harassment, some customer service. It does not include the mandatory sexual harassment, but you can buy it at a discount. And it also doesn't include the mandatory OSHA um, trainings, but you can upgrade and buy that through Mineral. Yeah, I like to go on there, and we have a lot of our members use a PIHRA Live because it's so easy when someone comes to you and is like, I need to do this, or you hear about this law that you haven't really incorporated into your day-to-day processes. You could go there and just get the information you need quickly. Thank you, Carla. Um, just so you know, our membership is individual unless you buy a HR team membership, and it's like a corporate membership for you could have a HR team of 2 to like 40 people. So this is something that may be of interest if you have a large HR group, and you can it has a different level of concierge service, so we can help you register your team to the conferences and things like that. And there's some discounts on the virtual conferences. Great. And this is the online platform that we have. So I think it was Catherine or Amy, you were asking if there was a HR consultant networking group. We can build something here online. However, I'm not sure how long we will have this. It will at least last until June of next year, but it's a great place for you to connect with other consultants and ask questions. And you can feel free to contact me separately if you want me to build out a discussion group just for that demographic. I'd be happy to. And again, you're going to get these slides, so you'll get all the URLs. Um, I haven't talked as much about volunteering, but I think, Carla, if you want just to unmute and talk about how has volunteering impacted. I know you shared that you got your current job as a part of PIHRA. Is that because they met you through your volunteer role?
Yes, so I actually what year are we in? This year flew by. I was at the California HR conference, not this year, but last year. And in one of the many events that we have at the conference, I began networking and talking to someone, and they connected me with my current employer, and it really, I'm now on the benefits end of everything. I never had thought about being in benefits, but it really was the best choice. And had it not been for PIHRA, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. But with volunteering, I was able to volunteer and really, kind of grow within not only the HR knowledge, but in networking. I'm not a shy person at all, but in new environments, I am. And so I remember when I started with PIHRA, I kind of didn't jump in right away in meetings because I was like, they're going to ask me about HR stuff and I don't know everything. And everyone was just so welcoming. And then it was through the volunteering. I started volunteering as PIHRA Pasadena social media, and then gained that skill. And then from then on, then, I'm currently the PIHRA Pasadena vice chair. And so it's great because you get to network and you meet so many incredible people, and then you kind of have a trajectory, right? Okay, now I did this. What else can I do? So I've been volunteering with PIHRA Central, with the office, and doing, the labor law updates, the California HR conference, which if you have not gone to it, you have to. It's so amazing. And so I really do know that because I've been volunteering, it's been, opening doors for me. And not only that, but I go to all the PIHRA events, and I mean, all the PIHRA events that I go to, it's like I know someone, and it's like a reunion, and it's great. And we actually had some clients at the labor law update, and they were like, "Whoa, everyone knows you," and it's just, that's what it is. It's community. It's being able to find someone that's approachable and knowledgeable and welcoming. So volunteering with PIHRA has been great for me.
Thank you so much, Carla. And we have some other examples and testimonials from our volunteers, even, students who have volunteered and then gotten their first job through volunteering on a committee at the professional level. We also have student chapters. So thank you so much, Carla, for sharing that. So I'm going to get into, because some of you talked about, hey, I want to know more about seminars. We have all kinds of different professional development. We have virtual chapter meetings, conferences, specialty programs. So I'm going to go through it. I think I mentioned that we have a member rate. So members save at least $10 on their registration fees. And there's a member rate for our conferences. Let's spend a moment. Someone asked about HR certification. 40% of our members are HR certified. I am so proud of my certification. I passed the SHRM SCP, and I don't know what year it was now. I think it was 2021, right? I studied when the pandemic hit. I took our prep classes here. I think we have one of the best HR certification instructors with Richard Dawson. He has been a part of the committee with SHRM that developed the exam. He's been commenting on the exam. I love the way he teaches it. But let me tell you this, that taking at least for me, because I'm not a great test taker, taking a prep class isn't sufficient. I had to read every page in the SHRM learning system, and there's like 5 or 6 books, kind of maybe this high. So I calculated that I studied, and I started my own study groups. I took another SHRM prep class through Bamboo HR. Actually, they had a scholarship for that. So I calculated I studied between 150 and 175 hours because the test isn't easy, especially the senior, either the SPHR or the SHRM SCP, which is for senior HR practitioners. At the last I saw, I think the SHRM SCP exam pass rate was right around 51% of the people passed. So it's a challenge. Some people pass it like that. They're just great test takers. But there are statistics out there that you can increase your salary by $20,000 with the SHRM senior. But with the SHRM SCP and the PHR, that's more directed to generalists. That there's also stats about increasing your salary. I got a salary bump when I did mine. So, but if there's any specific questions about this, right now is a good time to unmute or to ask in the chat. Well, feel free to reach out to us. I'm trying to move fast because we only have 10 more minutes. We do an annual economic outlook for HR leaders. That's coming up on January 18th in Costa Mesa. That's right here. It's a 3-hour event, and I think there's networking that follows it. So this is something that a lot of our Orange County members look forward to, and a great way to a great opportunity to network. We just did the California employment law update in October. We used to do it in January. Now we do it in October. It's immediately following the government signing off on the bills for the following year. However, we decided we usually do it in LA, in Burbank, Glendale, and in Anaheim. And some of our members that are in the other areas that are, beyond 50 miles away, don't attend because of the commute. So we are doing a more focused version of the employment law update in Riverside on January 24th. If this is something of interest, feel free to register for that. It's an affordable event. It's all day long. The reason I say it's focused is because our larger event, we have different sessions that you can select from. In this event, it's all one agenda for everybody. So hopefully that makes sense. The California HR Conference 24 is coming up. This is the ultimate 2 day, 2.5 day, I think it's going to be HR conference. Pre-pandemic, we had over 2,800 people attend, including exhibitors. So if you want to get the latest information on different platforms, HRIS, PEO platforms, payroll platforms, this is where you're going to meet all those vendors. We're going to be at the Hilton Anaheim, so we're kind of scaling down a little bit. The venue, we have had it at convention centers, but the Hilton Anaheim is fantastic. We'll be there May 20th through the 22nd. Right now, registration's open for the 3-day. It's going to probably start the afternoon of May 20th and go for 2 full days following that. We have, usually we have over 30 learning sessions. We have free career coaching going on during these events. We have a large exhibit hall. We have several receptions that you can attend. So it's what I look forward to. Even though we're working and on our feet for 15 hours a day, I look forward to this. We also need volunteers. So if you're interested in volunteering, let me know. I will send you a survey to fill out, and so we can get you on the list. We only need around 100 volunteers, and we get a lot of inquiries. So, but that's where Carla volunteers every month and met her current employer. So it's a great place to be. I'm going to pause. I see something in the chat. Yes, Carla will be there. Okay, I'm wrapping this up and I want to challenge you. I know, Amy, you're kind of far, but I want to challenge you. I have a hard time getting out to networking events and to professional development. I just get anxiety, and sometimes, I know there's a lot of economic uncertainty, or at least I feel economic uncertainty. If you don't, that's fantastic. But I want to challenge you and set a goal to go to a one PIHRA event in the next 3 months. Here's a list of events that are coming up through January. I challenge myself to go to at least one professional development event a quarter. And that means going to a PIHRA event, going to another association event like APD or ODNLA, or I'll invite a former colleague out to lunch or to dinner. So just something like that, because I know, and particularly after the pandemic, that I need to keep out there. And as a consultant, there's a couple of consultants here, you know that too. You need to constantly be networking and meeting new people and developing your pool of clients. But if you're not a consultant, it's really important. You do not want to wait until you're seeing layoffs at the organization or you're really unhappy in the workplace. Start networking, challenge yourself to go to at least one. And if you want to go to one, you're like, oh, I don't want to go by myself. Email me, because I will either meet you there or I will find someone, one of our volunteer leaders who are fantastic. They will greet you at the door. So think about it. There's not a lot on this list. Sometimes I can't even fit them all on this slide. I think a lot of our Pasadena, for example, they are kind of regrouping. They have a new leadership team. So starting in January, they're going to have a full list of we'll have additional meetings up on our calendar. So you want to go to PIHRA.org/calendar to find out more about these events and to register. This is where I would suggest to go to get the latest information. You might see that there's a chapter site where it lists all of our chapters. That information may be outdated. Also, some of these events sold out. Like today, the West LA Jingle and Jazz, because they throw a really nice party, it's sold out. So some of them sell out, and North OC's events sell out as well. So with that, you're going to get some of the ways to connect online. We have a LinkedIn community that's really strong. We're starting an Instagram community. Facebook, not so much. Twitter, I don't think we're as active, but LinkedIn and Instagram is going strong. And then we have this PIHRA.org/PIHRA Connect, which is that community I was telling you about. So we have a couple minutes. I've talked your ear off. Any last questions or comments before we go?
I just want to thank you. This was beyond helpful and actually inspirational just to see and hear everyone's enthusiasm. And I've recently joined, and I have found that the tools are really helpful. It is a terrific value. So thank you so much.
Catherine, that's wonderful. You made my day. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Comments? Carla, any last words of advice?
Yes, just get a volunteer. I mean, in any capacity that you're volunteering, you're going to get to know the PIHRA community, be updated with things that are, changing. Like Lily said, everything changes so much in California. But you're able to be connected into this network of experts. Yeah, just get out there and go to different events, be interactive, even on the webinars or the different events. Yeah, and then connect with us. Connect with us if you have any questions. Like Lily said too, if you want to go to an event but you don't want to go by yourself, or you have some questions, please reach out to me as well.
Thank you, Carla. This is the place, and I think Carla was saying this, but one of our volunteers leaders said that this is where she created her HR Fab Five, those 5 people on your speed dial that when everything's going crazy at the office, from an HR perspective, you can call on one of these people because they've done it before, they've heard about it before, they know the pitfalls, they know how to succeed in these. HR is not easy. It's not an easy position. So please build your HR community, whether it's with PIHRA or with another association. I'm not going to sound like a great salesperson, but I want you to have a community. It's so important as a professional to have your community. Get your HR board of advisors, your Fab Five, and I think this is the place to get it. So with that, have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. I'm glad this was helpful, and reach out. We'll follow up with the slides and with some additional information. Have a great rest of your day and happy holidays, everybody. Take care.